Hello, Laura back again, and this time we're looking at Tuckman's team formation model, a really key model that runs all the way through level 4, 5 and 6 at the SIPS qualifications. So make sure that you pay close attention to this model. There are 6 stages in Tuckman's model: forming, storming, norming, performing, dorming and adjourning. Adjourning is sometimes referred to as mourning. And not every team will go through each and every stage. And also it's worth noting that it's not necessarily always linear. You may go forming, storming, norming to get new employees and then go back to storming. So it's not always that linear process, but these are the 6 major stages that teams go through for formation. And the purpose of learning this model is to understand at which stage our team is, and for managers to be able to employ the right tactics in order to get people to the optimal stage. The optimal stage is performing, and to ensure that if the team starts to storm or dorm and become complacent, then you can put in the right strategy to ensure that that team gets back to the performing stage and focuses on the task at hand. The first stage in this model is forming. Forming is where the members find out about each other and how the group is going to work. So this is where the team comes together. And what you tend to have is a lot of cautious behaviour, people being on their best behaviour and kind of walking on eggshells a little bit of ice breaking to get to know one another, and a sort of very small testing of the waters to see what personalities we have, what will be allowed, what won't be allowed, and so on. But everyone really is putting their best face forward. The second stage is storming. In the storming phase, members begin to assert themselves and start to test out behaviour, seeing what they can really get away with. Now, this is to do with ideas, to do with their roles, who's going to be the alpha, who's going to be the planner, and so on and so on. And here you can have a lot of creativity, but there's also quite a lot of conflict and competition, as people may be vying for the same roles within that team. So as a manager, they need to be careful that this storming doesn't detract completely from the task at hand. The next stage is norming. Norming is when things start to settle down. Agreements are reached about work sharing, the roles, the output expectations, and what the group style norms are. So everybody knows what they can get away with, what their role is, and what they're meant to be doing. Essentially, at this point, they start to sing from that same hymn sheet just a little bit. Doesn't mean that there's not problems, but everyone's aware of the day-to-day and how things should be run. The performing stage. The performing stage is the optimal stage. This is where the group focuses on executing its task, and no longer are they bothered about this group dynamics. They're not distracted by infighting, by different power struggles and so on. Now they're solely focused on the task, and it's at this point where they start to succeed, and they may get a lot of accolades for this success. This is a stage where the team are working their best. The next stage is dorming. So it's human nature, when we've been doing really well and everyone's told us how amazing we are, to get complacent. And we start to kind of take our foot off the pedal a little bit and start to focus back on team comfort and politics and making sure that we can keep things as they are. We don't have to work too hard, people know what they're doing, and so we've done a great job. Don't we deserve a rest? That's what the team is saying here. And the manager's role is to get that team back performing. The final stage is adjourning, sometimes referred to as mourning. This is where the team has fulfilled its purpose and prepares to disband, or perhaps reform for a new task. The members will detach from the group and the team has come to an end. And as I said earlier, it's important to note that not every team will go through all of these stages. They may never get to the adjourning stage, and they're not necessarily going to go through all stages in order. When new people get involved, you could go from performing back through to storming and so on. And the manager's role is to ensure that they can get their team to work in that performing stage and move through the others as quickly as possible. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe. We'll catch you back on the next one soon. Bye.